has been forever since my last episode. It's so crazy.
Take a break from your life. Gonna show you the other side. You need a little revival. Cause I know it's not easy. You'll love the way that you feel. It feels so unreal to yourself.
Oh, come on!
So love how it feels when the song gets to your body.
So welcome back to In Between Breaks. Oh my god, no, it's been forever since my last episode. We were full on into exam week, okay? But you know what? I only had 2 exams, so I can't complain. Last one is tomorrow, and that's French. But anyways, who cares? If you're new, I'm Jenny, and today I'm going to be wearing a Christmas hat because it's Christmas. Oh, isn't that kind of cute? Yay. Christmas is literally in 3 days. That's kind of crazy. I don't know if you guys are feeling it. I'm not able to feel the Christmas spirit at the moment. That's why I'm wearing the hat. Other than that, you know, I have this wonderful snow globe over here. What was that laugh? Here's this nutcracker. And then my Christmas tree. I really want to decorate it, but I didn't really find anything yet. This episode will not be related to Christmas, actually. We are going to be talking about Marvel, and I have been waiting for this episode for the longest time now. I mean, obviously it's my choice. I mean, I'm the one choosing to do this now. Nothing was stopping me before, but you know what? I decided that's it. We're gonna do this today, okay? I want to talk about Marvel, and that's exactly what we are going to do. I found 10 controversies about Marvel online. You guys are going to see if I agree with them or not. If you guys are not Marvel fans, okay, basically the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it's a universe full of superheroes, okay? You got Iron Man, you got Thor, Spider-Man, okay, it's really complex, okay? But how do I even begin to explain the Marvel Cinematic Universe? It's a gigantic... I feel like it's falling off because I can't explain the Marvel Cinematic Universe to you guys. This video will probably be 2 hours if I take the time to explain the whole thing. Basically, it's the biggest superhero franchise, okay? No one can fight me on this. I swear to God, if someone comes in here and say like, oh, DC, get out. Okay, just doors right there. Oh, top 10 most controversial MCU topics. Spoilers ahead for those who haven't seen Endgame yet. Oh, this is old. Hey, number 10, sorry. The audience should not sympathize with Loki. Are you insane? Yeah, he's done some pretty bad things, but are you telling me, like, no. You have to sympathize with him. Let's hear out what this person has to say. For many Marvel fans, Loki is a favorite character. Others despise him and cannot comprehend why he is even sympathized with in the first place. How's that even possible? Throughout the entire thing, you see how Odin is not showing him any love. It's basically explaining why he became the way he was. What is there more? How do you not feel bad for him? Okay? How about when he picked up, what did he pick up? He picked up that thing, right? What did he pick up? Okay, whatever. He turned blue, remember? He had turned blue, and that's when he found out, well, I don't remember what it was that he picked up, but he had turned blue, and that's how he found out that he's not a son of Odin. First of all, he's adopted. Let's just go with that. Second, Odin literally doesn't show that much love for him. It was always, what's her name, Frida? On top of everything, his own parents gave him up because he wasn't, what's his thing again? Frost giant. He's a frost giant, okay? His parents gave him up because he's basically a small frost giant. He was not going to grow up to be a giant. So then Odin took him, right? I think there was like some family exchange. I don't know, okay? I'm sorry, I don't agree with this, okay? Your opinion sucks. Many argue that his character must stop being sympathized with. As a villain who has sent out an alien army to attack New York City. Okay, I need to comment on that because that wasn't his fault. Have you guys even watched, I'm not gonna get mad at you guys. Have they watched the movie? Because if anyone knew, it wasn't Loki actually doing that. He was brainwashed by the space stone in the scepter. So your opinion is wrong. I think this is going to be happening the whole time. Okay, as a villain who sent out an alien army to attack New York, many do not think their sympathy has been earned. In almost every movie Loki has been in, he betrays the heroes. He's untrustworthy and a loose cannon. I mean, what do you want him to do? He's Loki. I mean, come on. Have at least a little bit of sympathy. A little bit of sympathy. Okay, he's not a loose cannon. Calm down. And keeping him around means that mischief is always bound. Did you even watch the rest of the franchise? He literally had a character development in the end. I mean, he died. Sorry, spoiler warning. The MCU ruined Spider-Man. Okay. There have been many actors who have portrayed Spider-Man, and the newest one is Tom Holland. Woo! Okay. However, there are people who dislike this actor's portrayal of his character and prefer the other movies. Really? Yeah, totally. Like all those fans who hated Andrew's Spider-Man and now are like, oh my god, he's so amazing. Where were you before? They also argue that the MCU ruined his character as a whole. Okay. People believe that the MCU took away some of Spider-Man's tragic backstory. Well, so you have to understand why they did that. It can only do the radioactive spider thing so much. Why would you want to see that again? I feel like it's just going to get repetitive at that point. In the first movies and the comics, Spider-Man's main motivation is that with great power comes great responsibility, as said by his uncle who dies. Well, why are you complaining about that? Because that scene wasn't even in the Andrew Garfield movies. It's supposed to be. It was actually a deleted scene. That's what kind of sucks. In the MCU, Uncle Ben isn't even mentioned, and Peter Parker... Okay, I'm trying to remain neutral. It's like... I mean, I feel like it was still mentioned at the time that they were going to try to connect all the Spider-Mans. So, I'm sorry, I can't agree with this. Main motivations are to impress and aid Tony Stark. Honestly, I like that storyline. I liked how they connected those two characters. It worked really well. It was such a warm relationship. And I feel like it helped his character a lot, if anything. Only going to disagree that in the first movie, Tony Stark, I feel like it was a bit out of character. He was paying a little too much attention to what Peter was doing. I feel like, I don't know, something just wasn't making sense. He was just getting mad at Peter too much. I'm the one who found it just a bit hypocritical that he's getting mad at Peter because he felt like he was nothing without the suit. How about Tony Stark? How did he feel without his suit? How would he feel if someone took away his suit, huh? I don't think he'd be too happy about that. But on the other hand, I mean, I think if we talk about the final battle between Vulture and Spider-Man, I think it was good that we didn't see him fight with the suit because it shows how strong Peter is without the suit. Many believe that having Spider-Man in the MCU is a good thing. How would it be a bad thing? First of all, the costume designs in the MCU are argued to be far better than the costumes Sony came up with. Also, by casting a younger actor, that's true, the other two were actually much, much older. Still not complaining though. He can fit the role of being a high school student, which matches the age of the hero in the comic books. Lastly, whereas the great power comes with great responsibility is never told to him by his Uncle Ben, his actions always fit this theme in the movies. Yeah, I mean, I think the MCU didn't ruin Spider-Man. I'm sorry, I don't agree with this one. Thanos was right. I don't even know how to comment on this one. Thanos had one main goal, to wipe out half of the universe's population to save the other half. By doing so, the people who survived would have more food and materials. It would ultimately solve the issue of It would ultimately save the issue of overpopulation. There's just one issue. Half of the universe has to die. Many argue that his intentions were good and his plan was smart. Others believe that it was evil or that there were better ways to carry out his plan. How do I put this? If it ever comes to half of the universe being wiped out, I think it should be due to natural consequences than someone pulling up one day and saying, yeah, let's do a 50-50 homicide. But we do have a Thanos today, and I think that's COVID. COVID basically wiped out half the planet. Thanos, he had a mind of its own. Its own? It's like, I don't agree with this, but I don't disagree with this. Because overpopulation, I feel like it's obviously not going to have many positive consequences. But I'm not one to say, oh yeah, we should wipe out we should wipe out half the universe. That's just insane. Actually, when you think about it, at the end of the movie, they just brought the overpopulation back. So, technically, it didn't solve anything. Controversy number 8. I'm gonna say neutral. This one, I'm just gonna say whatever happens, happens. Oh, this is an interesting one. Clint should have died instead of Natasha. I remember this got a lot of backlash back then because, you know, like basically they were saying they killed off Natasha because she had no family. That's basically the way they were justifying it, and that Clint, he had a family. Which, you know, obviously I still think that's, I don't know. It's somehow valid but invalid at the same time. Someone's life should not be just taken away because she has no family. I mean, at the same time, she had no choice. There's so many times, and I'm gonna talk about this, there's so many times that okay, it's gonna fall. It's like the angrier I get, the less the hat stays on. There are so many times that Black Widow was wronged in the MCU. It just frustrates me so much. Forget Black Widow. Scarlett Johansson, they've wronged her so much. Do you know how long it took for this woman to get a movie? It's insane. And on top of everything, when the movie finally came out, they put it in theaters and on Disney Plus. Like, how's she gonna make... How in the hell is this woman gonna make profit? Yeah, I'm sorry, but that's so unfair. She basically that allowed her to make no profit on the film, basically. Okay, well, I mean, I'm sure she made profit, and she has a lot of money, but that's not what I mean. I mean, even I would still be angry too if that happened to me. Why the hell? And she was the only one where it happened like that, okay? Disney Plus was basically making more money because a lot of people were probably deciding to watch it at home. I mean, I decided to see the movie twice, so woohoo, support her. People are glad that it was Natasha instead of Clint. Why? First of all, he had a family. They all died in the snap, which was one of the main... Okay, yeah, you know what? Many argue that Clint should have been the one to die. During the 5 years that half of the universe was gone, Natasha spent it trying to help everyone cope with the losses and trying to mend what's broken. What was Clint doing? Murdering as many people as he could. That's a good point. One can argue that many people have different ways to cope with it, but I'm sorry, if your way to cope with death is to kill more people, you have issues. He lost his family, and the next thing he decided to do is kill more people who had families? That's messed up. He was cute and all in Hawkeye. Okay, I love the show. I love Kate Bishop. You know, everyone did an amazing job. I love the dog too. I want to go back to that point. Natasha spent the time to help her friends. Clint did the opposite of that. You know what? Should have been Clint. I agree. This is the first opinion I agree with. Killing off one of the few female characters who had been there since the beginning doesn't sit right. That's true too. Okay? She's been there since the very beginning. Okay, fine. He has two. But that doesn't matter. Okay? She was a more relevant character. She was in our hearts. Clint wasn't. They didn't develop his character enough for us to care about him. Like, he was a good character and all. They probably developed, I mean, I watched Loki, not Loki. I watched Hawkeye. They developed his character more in Hawkeye, I'm not gonna lie. But it just, I'm sorry, I have to agree with this. It doesn't sit right with me. Bucky Barnes should have been the new Captain America. Oh my god. Oh. I don't think I'm gonna have an opinion on this. I think Bucky would have been good, but I think that Falcon is really good too. I'm not gonna lie, my opinion at first, I was surprised when the shield was given to, I was surprised when Captain America gave the shield to Sam. And I was like, why didn't he give it to Bucky? So at first, you know what, that was my opinion. But now that I think about it, sorry, I like full on lagged out for a second. After a while though, my opinion sort of shifted because Bucky, he's not exactly stable. Like, he probably got more stable, but I don't know. I think Sam, he might be a little more calculated as a Captain America, and also the representation up there. Well, forget the representation. I think just Sam's character was really good as a Captain America, and I think it's gonna go well for him. So it's saying others argue that Bucky Barnes should have gotten the shield. After all, Steve did spend many movies trying to rescue and argue. Hold on, what did I just say? Steve did spend many movies trying to rescue and save him. Ever since Bucky and Steve were young, Bucky always stood for him. Oh, that's true. That's very true. That would have been good for the... Yeah. I didn't think about that. They fought each other and saved each other's lives. Bucky made selfless... Oh my god, do I need water? They fought each other and saved each other's lives. Bucky made selfless decisions to protect the world from his brainwashed mind. Like when he went under and lived in Wakanda at the end of the Civil War, people argued that he was the perfect candidate. I don't know. I don't agree nor disagree, so neutral. Number 5. Captain America's ending in Endgame ruined his character. I agree. What the hell, man? You learned to grow without Peggy, and then the moment you got the opportunity to, hey, I could go back in time now and be with Peggy. What happened to all the growth? I know that at the same time, you know what? It wasn't fair. He didn't get to go on his date, and that's very sad. You know what? Let's see what they're saying. Avengers Endgame has an ending that left many leaving the theater angry and confused, and others content and satisfied. After defeating Thanos, Steve Rogers made it his mission to travel back to the past to return all of the Infinity Stones and Mjolnir, Thor's hammer. Instead of coming back to the present timeline, he stays behind with Peggy, a girl he liked from his past before he was frozen for 70 years. Many argue that this ending was uncharacteristic, selfish, and ruined his character arc. I mean, I can't disagree with that. For example, people have pointed out that Peggy ended up living a happy life with a different husband and even had kids throughout the normal timeline. Oh my god! That's true! That means he just ruined another what did happen to the other man? People argue that someone as noble and caring for others as Captain America should not put himself in front of that. That's true. Like, Captain America's whole character was about his selflessness, and I feel like that kind of went in a complete other direction. Not only that, but appearing out of nowhere with no explanation, then time travel. That's so true. What did she think of that? She was like, hey, how'd you come back? Hey, why aren't you going on your mission? Think about that. So he decides to go back in time, right? And then, wasn't he literally supposed to go on a mission? That's what got him stuck in the, iceberg, right? And then, or wait, was it like an iceberg? I don't know, he just kind of went it. He just appeared, and then she's just like, oh yeah, hey. So he just didn't go on the mission? Who the hell went on the mission? What if the exact same thing that happened to him just happened to someone else? That's the selfishness, okay? Because he's not gonna go through it, the other person's gonna... Unbelievable, okay? The other person is gonna go through it, and then that means he just let his own consequences that were meant for him land in the life of someone else. That's not Captain America. That's out of character for him, okay? I hate when they do that. I hate when shows write something for a character that's just completely out of character. It's so annoying, and it happens so much in The Office. Others loved it and believed it was a good ending to a storyline. It was a good cinematic ending because they had the song. I'm not saying it was a good actual plot ending, though. They believe that his character finally gets to rest. Fine, I mean, I won't disagree with the fact that after everything he went through, he probably deserved to, go back with Peggy. Or wait! What if he didn't go to that universe? What if he went to another... No, it was a time travel machine for that one timeline. Never mind, I don't think he went to another universe. I realized that the multiverse hadn't even happened yet. Number 4. Avengers Infinity War was better than Avengers Endgame. Wrong! Endgame had all those superheroes come in. While many people loved Endgame and enjoyed its ending, and were moved by the emotional scenes, many prefer Infinity War. The Thanos in Infinity War is arguably better than the Thanos in Endgame. Oh. Okay. Thanos had character development, his backstory was given, and he seemed much more driven to get the job done. Oh. Okay, wait, I see what you mean. Okay, maybe you're not wrong. That's true. He kind of seemed like a lazy bum in Avengers Endgame, if I'm being honest. I mean, I know that his one goal was to just wipe out half the universe, but then after that, you see him like a little witch in his cabin making some porridge or something. So that was his goal after that. After he wiped out half the universe, he just wanted to live the rest of his life in the woods. He wanted to live a cottagecore life. Thor's character in Infinity War made us see the emotional side of him. I like that, actually. We don't see a... No. I think we've seen an emotional side of Thor, I feel like. Ultimately making us root for him even more. In Endgame, these complex emotions seem to fade as time went on in the movie. Yeah, I know. The twist of the end made everyone on the edge of their seats. The ending of Infinity War is arguably what made Endgame the top grossing movie of all time. Okay. I mean, yeah, I'm not going to disagree on the fact that it was so emotional, the ending for Infinity War. Like, I was crying 1000%. I don't cry a lot during movies. Okay, I've been crying more during movies now. I feel like I just didn't have that emotional thing. But it was very sad, okay? Especially Peter's scene, okay? It's like, I don't want to go. Many argue that Endgame was better than the Infinity War. Endgame had more dramatic moments. That's what I'm saying. That's why I liked Endgame. Such as the deaths of beloved characters. Not only did... What the hell? Not only did those deaths make it a more emotional experience, but they died to save the universe, making it an emotional sacrifice we didn't want but had to accept. I like that, actually. I like that they didn't make it some cliche thing, you know? There's also some humor and lightheartedness in Endgame that wasn't expected. The humor throughout helped make the 3-hour-long movie easier to sit through. Although many audience members were left with many questions at the end of the movie, the ending had more closure than Infinity War, which some prefer. Well, I mean, Infinity War was the part 1 anyway, so I can't imagine that was supposed to have any closure. Number 3! The MCU is overrated. Well, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is one... Okay. It may have become overrated now, but the only reason I feel like this opinion has surfaced is because I feel like the MCU is having a downfall. I didn't see Black Panther yet. I heard that one's good, so I definitely need to see that one. With differing opinions about each film, many believe that the franchise made well-made, super enjoyable, and has entertaining films. Blah, blah, blah. Compared to the other franchises, MCU is argued to have a great timeline. Every movie in the MCU is well-made. Actually, I do have a separate opinion to this. Ever since the MCU has become so big, I feel like it's just completely dominated movie theaters. Okay, I used to see other movies, be excited, you know, and I feel like Marvel used to have, like, you know, their movies on the side, but now I feel like it's completely dominated the movies that it kind of had me for a while not wanting to see other movies. Like, I don't know how to explain, but it's like other movies weren't the same if it wasn't Marvel. What was the last movie I'd seen in theater? I think it was Don't Worry, Darling, actually. Number 2, who is the most powerful Avenger? How is this even a question? It's obviously the Scarlet Witch. I mean, come on. Lots would argue that it's Scarlet Witch, Thor, Is it Thor? Thor has like 1 power. She has 1,000,000. She could beat Thor in 2 seconds. She couldn't even beat Doctor Strange, and Doctor Strange is technically more powerful than Thor. Okay, so this person is saying, Thor, however, is literally a god. That doesn't mean anything to me. He can control lightning. She can control the multiverse. She can control everything in the universe. Wait, but this article was 2 years ago. They don't know about her full potential yet. Oh, crap. I forgot to take that into account, actually. Number 1. Is Captain America or Iron Man a better leader for the Avengers? This is hard.
That's what she said.
Both? Can't they just lead them both together? Okay, because I think we can agree that Captain America, he's lawful good. Iron Man from the first movie could not lead a group, okay? I don't care if he's CEO of a company, okay? He was really immature. Saying ever since the beginning, Captain America has always wanted to fight for what's right. Even after transforming into a super soldier, he never let the new power get to his head. That's exactly what I mean. I've never been one to gloat about anything. On purpose, at least. Even after transforming to a super soldier, he never let the new power get to his head, and that drive to do the right thing remained within him. Steve has also had military training, and yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with Steve. There's argue that Iron Man struggles with integrity, doesn't have military training. Iron Man can fly, shoot lasers. Oh, his power in his mind made him more powerful than Captain America. I don't think that answers the leadership question though. Because he can have all the power and mind, that doesn't mean he's a good leader. Look, I think that both Iron Man and Steve Rogers have good qualities that if they put together would be just a really good leader. Like, whoever watched The Office, you know how they had co-manager and co-manager? I mean, it was not a good idea for the show, but in this case for Steve Rogers and Tony Stark, I think it would actually be really good. They can both be leaders. I don't think it should just be one, because they both have great minds. I don't know, just take later Iron Man, put him with Steve Rogers, and that's a team. So, okay, my final answer is none of them are better. If they just work together, that's a good leader. I'm not here for one-dimensional one-dimensional answers, okay? We're looking for very deep answers here, and that's my answer. Oh, I forgot to show you guys. So, these are 3 comics over here. This is Thanos, Gamora, and Black Widow. I call it the I Got Killed Because of Thanos Club. And then there's just Billie Eilish right there. So, that has been this video. And you know what? If you've ever been interested in becoming a Marvel fan, it's never too late. But people are getting mad now that, you know, everyone's expecting these huge Endgame level films, but that's just not going to happen because there needed to be that build up to finally reach the emotional climax of Endgame. Like, that's one thing. But my kind of, not beef, but like, just what really gets my goat, it's just not the same. They're not writing the characters the same way anymore. And sometimes they're just inserting humor everywhere. I couldn't get through She-Hulk, okay? I liked Hawkeye. I liked WandaVision. Those ones are good, actually, if I'm being honest. Those ones are pretty good. Thor, Love and Thunder was a hot mess. The imbalance between the humor and the serious moments was just dreadful. I don't know how many times I'm going to have to watch someone say, "Oh, they're right behind me, isn't he?" God, you gotta let go of that joke. It's so old.
They're behind me, aren't they?
So thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Oh, happy holidays, by the way. Have fun. You know, school has been tough. So make the best out of this holiday, okay? And I'll see you guys in the next video.